Hello everybody, welcome to today's video. I am in The Sims 2 and I am building a block of flats or apartments if you're in the US. So this is my first video ever, so I'm a little bit shy. So be nice. And if I sound a little bit awkward speaking to camera, it's because I am. And this is really scary, like, you know, just sitting here talking to nobody, and I kind of want to say hey guys, but I don't even know if there are guys there. Is there anyone alive out there? So it feels a bit stupid to say hey guys, but anyway, enough about my insecurities, and onto what I'm building. So this is a block of flats. This is going to be a brick brutalism build. So if you don't know what brick brutalism is, you probably have heard of brutalism, which we all know is big concrete buildings, very blocky, kind of typical in the 60s, 70s, 1960s, 1970s. And yeah, we've probably all heard of brutalism and kind of think of these concrete grey buildings. But there were also buildings that were brutalism, but were made of bricks. And that is what I'm going for today. I do like to build big concrete buildings as well, but I tried a kind of concrete wall texture on this building and I felt like it was just really not working. It really didn't look right for it. So I may do more concrete buildings in the future, but for now this is going to be brick, so it's brick brutalism. That's what we're going with today. So this is the kind of building you would see probably in a housing estate in the UK, built probably 60s, 70s. Okay, little crash there, just ignore that. But here you can see I'd started building it and it crashed. So I completely rebuilt it again from scratch and picked up here. And at this point I've added that brick that I mentioned on the outside. So you start to get a feel for what this is going to look like. And I was inspired to build this when I walked past this building. I'll put a picture on the screen. And you're probably thinking this building looks nothing like what I'm seeing you build. How on earth did you get from that building to this building? And you're right, it doesn't really look like it. But it's this sort of sticking out balcony bit that I was trying to emulate. These sort of four balconies that kind of stick out, but then they're wrapped by the building on the other side, and you get this sort of skewed, odd sort of X shape for the internal floor plan. That's what I was trying to go for here. And you can see I'm building some of the lower floor apartments. So these ones on the lower floor, I went for the kind of more smaller apartments. They're literally just one beds, very much starter homes. One of them's even a studio because it was so awkward. I just had to do it as a studio. But yeah, these are not big luxurious apartments. Like, this is obviously you might see this as being like social housing even, but I think probably it might have been built as that, you know, if this were real life. You know, this is The Sims, we don't have that. But if you want to pretend that your sim is, you know, has reduced rent or is in a social housing, then maybe this could be a block that you'd want to put them in. And I think it'd be great if you're just starting out. There's nothing worse, I think, when I'm playing The Sims, is when you've got one or two Sims and you have to move them into either like a big empty lot with just a tiny little house in the middle because you can't afford anything else, and it just feels so isolated. So whenever I'm playing like that, I always like to put them in an apartment because there's other people moving around, you know, there's other things on the lot. It's good for like meeting people, and yeah, I would always choose to put them in an apartment. So that's why I like to mainly build blocks like this, to be honest. And you'll see more videos where I'm building more apartment blocks. So if you want to see more of that, do give it a like, give it a comment, you know what I'm going to say, go subscribe, because then, you know, I won't feel like I'm shouting into the abyss. It'll feel like I'm actually doing this and people are watching it, and that's obviously, that's what people want, right? That's what you want. You want people to pay attention to you. So yeah, what can I say about this? So yeah, here we are. I'm adding the flooring now. Going to go up all the different levels, and there are 5 levels of apartments, and there are, let me count, this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 total apartments, like units in this. The lower 3 floors have 2 apartments per level, and these are the really small ones. And then you can see this one here, this is one whole apartment, and the one above it is one whole apartment. So you've got 2 beds there, and they're a little bit more spacious. So, you know, if you want to live in this like kind of vibe, but you've got a few more Sims, or maybe there's like children or whatever, you can always move them up the building, and yeah, get a bit more space. So yeah, I know Sims 2 just was remastered, so the reason I'm doing this, I'm kind of hoping that maybe there's going to be new players to the game. Wait, hang on 1 second. This is me realizing I've built the lift and the stairs facing the complete wrong way. I was pointing to the side of the lot. So in the initial build before it crashed, I had the lift and stairs facing towards the entrance, which kind of makes sense. But then I realized I'd done it wrong. So you go through the front door and then the lift's kind of round a little side bit, but I think it's fine. You know, actually, the more I think about it, that could be the way this kind of building's built, so it's cool. We're just going to ignore that. But as I was saying, I know The Sims 2 was recently re-released, which I was very excited about, because I thought they were going to be remastering the game. I don't know, like maybe adding some new bits or making it more optimized, but I don't really believe they've done much, to be honest, to change the game from what I've seen. And I've seen it can still crash, and I don't know. So I'm playing with an old version of the game. I've had this years, and unlike all of you new fans, I've been playing this game years. And I never really moved on. Like I played The Sims 3 when it came out, and I played The Sims 4 when it came out, but I was kind of, I don't know, I was always pulled back. I was always pulled back to The Sims 2. There was just something so charming about it, and you know, when you know how to play a game, and then they completely recreate the way you build and everything. I was unable and unwilling to learn. That's the truth. I was unable and unwilling, and I just didn't put in the hours. And then I felt like, you know, I've kind of fallen behind here. Why would I go and be the worst builder, the worst player in The Sims 4 when, you know, I quite like it on The Sims 2. I reckon I'm all right. So, you know, obviously it just makes sense to stay there. And creature of habit I am, I just kept playing it. So yeah, when I heard it was being re-released, I was really excited, because I thought they were gonna kind of update it. It looks like really they haven't enough for it to make sense for me to buy it again, you know. So I was a bit like, eh. But then at the same time, it's good that there's going to be more people playing it, more people downloading it. Hopefully some people kind of, maybe that's the reason you're watching this video. Maybe you're thinking, okay, I mean, I've just got The Sims 2. What can people do? What's good? Like, how do you build? Whatever. So if I can kind of capitalize on that to become a YouTube star, then obviously I'm gonna. So now it seems like a good moment to, you know, film some of my builds, do this, upload them. And I've thought about doing this before, actually. I've thought about, you know, could I do it? Is it something I'd like to try my hand at, you know, because I love watching YouTubers, you know, play The Sims, and I think sometimes, you know, maybe I'd like to have a go at it. So here I am, I'm having a go, okay, I'm having a go. If you like it, you can stay. If you don't like it, you can go. It's no big deal, guys. But if you like what I'm building, if you like this kind of thing, it's blocky, it's urban. I don't really do like cutesy build, it's always kind of mid-century modernism. I reckon I'm a bit of a fanboy for that kind of thing, you know, that era of architecture. So that's the kind of thing you're going to see me building if you stay tuned to this channel. And I'll have to have a think about what I do next. But anyway, you know, I need to focus on this for now. So as you can see, I should talk about what I'm doing. So I'm building a playground next to the block, doing the little patchy, dirty grass vibe, very effective. And you'll see as well, I added a little car park out the front. Now, usually I wouldn't do this. This is a massive lot for me. I really like to build on small, pokey lots, because I feel like when you're making a little neighborhood, you can really pack them in. But it felt like it made sense to give this a little bit of space around it. And to be honest, the size of these apartments on the lower floor, like your Sims would need it. Like, look at this, it's actually crazy. When it came to decorating, I kind of realized these lots are really small, or at least the kind of kitchen living room is. But it kind of works, you know, if you've got a single Sim or a couple, or maybe they've got a baby, if you want it to be kind of a struggle, this just feels like quite a real apartment that they would live in if they were in a big city or an expensive city. You know, maybe this is what they can afford. Maybe this is the house they've been allocated. I don't know. You know, it's your game. You decide. But yeah, that's the vibe I was going for. Small, kind of compact apartments. But, you know, maybe the Sims that live there, they don't care. You know, they just want somewhere to lay their head, to make their own, and then they're going to be out. They're going to be out enjoying life, enjoying the city. So, yeah, maybe that's kind of their vibe. But yeah, I'm working through the apartments here, furnishing them. You know, at first I thought, okay, I don't need to furnish them. What's the point? Because you can move in and do your own thing. But then as I kind of worked up, I was like, well, it kind of feels a bit unfinished to just have a big empty building, you know? So I've ended up furnishing them. And as I work up, I kind of furnish them more and more and more. The one on the bottom, I swear it had like a chair and an oven. And the top one's like fully got like, you know, artwork, easel, the works. But yeah, you'll see that as I kind of work up. But I'm pretty sure I'm on the second level of apartments right now. And yeah, just giving them everything they need, because I don't know if you've ever realised this, or maybe if you're new to The Sims, Sims 2, you haven't realised this, but if you move into an apartment, it's going to move in a load of like NPCs, and if they get allocated an apartment and it doesn't have a kitchen or a bathroom or a bed in there, them Sims will be fighting for their lives. It's like The Walking Dead. Like, you'll see them walking around the block, like, they stink. They've got the green mist around them. They're crying out to sleep. They're like passed out on the floor. It's ridiculous. So I've made that mistake before. So that's why, you know, if you're, you know, top tip, my first top tip, if you're building apartments, like, make sure you put at least the like basics, which makes sense. You know, if you rented an apartment and it didn't have a bath, like, or like an oven or a sink, you'd be like, what is this? If it's just like an empty shell, obviously you need those basics. So do that. And that's where I've done this. I've given them all a little bit of personality, a little bit of decoration. And here you can see this one. Yeah, it's a little bit girlier, a little bit cutesier. And actually the bedrooms are quite spacious, to be honest. The bedrooms are not bad. And then you've got this crammed living room. This one was kind of giving me, you know, the apartment from Friends. And I had that vibe with the purple walls. Yeah, it was giving me that kind of Monica's apartment. So the things as well, because of the shape of this building, I love it. Like, I think that's actually a vibe. With the kind of 4 balconies. But would apartments this size have 2 quite sizable balconies? Probably not. It's quite a lot of balcony space for what's quite a small apartment. And then especially on the top floor, these apartments, they take up the full floor plan, and they've got 4 balconies. But I kind of had to do that just for the shape of the building. And yeah, also I didn't add anything onto the balconies because I just thought it's enough, you know. But maybe I should have. Maybe I will. Maybe I'll go back. Like some tables and chairs or whatever. A little telescope maybe. Okay, this is the second to top floor. So this, as you can see, is quite bigger. It's quite a bit bigger. It's got like a full-size kitchen, dining table. And I guess the Sims living here would probably be making a little bit more money. You know, they got a bit more space, and you can see it's decorated kind of, you know, I don't want to say, oh, it's decorated nicely in case someone's like, no, it's not. Like, that's not even nice. I mean, like, when I say it's decorated nicely, I mean, like, it's like more expensive goods, you know. It's more grown-up vibe, let's say, rather than being a little bit more basic, rough and ready, as you see in the lower floors. And also this cute little kid's bedroom. I was picturing maybe some like single dads living here. You know, he's got 2 kids, single dad. But he's, you know, I don't know. Actually, I didn't think about it enough to really expand on that. I thought I was going to have more to say. But all I've got is he's a single dad, so you can just go with that. And here's the aforementioned single dad's bedroom, which is quite nice. And he's got his own little balcony. I think all the rooms have balconies on these ones because they're top floor. But they only have the 1 bathroom because there just wasn't the space. Because actually it's quite a small quite a small floor plan, really, considering you've got the like hallway right in the middle. And another thing, if you're new to The Sims as well, if you're new to The Sims 2, I don't think you can actually build this high usually, so there's a cheat to do that. I think this is just over, but you can put as many stories as you want, but it starts getting quite difficult with the camera. Like this is high enough, and you can see it's a tiny bit awkward. Like when you rotate, it's not the same as it would be as rotating on ground level. It kind of throws you off a little bit. So I wouldn't really recommend building higher than like 6 stories. That's probably your limit. That's probably where you want to stop, because it just gets crazy. The camera's flying all over the neighborhood. It's just untenable. So this is the top floor one. Okay, there you go, easel, desk. This apartment's got much more going on than the lower floors. And then yeah, 2 master bedrooms in this one, 2 quite like large bedrooms. So maybe it'd be good for like sharers, or like maybe roommates, kind of 2 working professionals. Could be a nice like apartment for 2. Yeah, two go-getters working in the big city. With their grandma wallpaper. You know, maybe they're not allowed to change it. Maybe that's part of the lease. You know, you have to think of these things. So this is the exterior, and there's a little cheeky neighborhood shot to get a feel for it. I'll show some better shots of the outside actually when it's done, because you can get a bit more of a feel for the sort of geometry of this space. And then here on the ground floor, like, I didn't really know what to do in a real block. If you've lived in a council block, or if you've been into a council block, they wouldn't really have like, I don't know, they wouldn't really have like this would probably be ground floor flats or bins, or maybe there'd be like a resident room. Sometimes they have a little tiny resident hall. So I did something like that at the back. I just added a table. You can see I'm doing that here. So, you know, if the residents are not happy, they can go down there and have a good meeting and write to the leaseholders or whatever it is. And then yeah, I had all this dead space at the back. So I was like, okay, what goes? Like maybe like a little basketball court thing. Space that out a bit more. That's next to the playground. So actually quite a lot you could go and do on this lot. And I think I kept a treadmill in the little downstairs room as well. So you know, Sims can stay fit. And then just extending the car parks. I kind of ran out of ideas as to what to do. I mean, there's loads I could have done, but it kind of has to make sense for the block. I mean, there's no point me putting a pool, is there? Like, realistically, this building does not have a pool. If you want to download this and add a pool, you do that, but it feels a bit strange to do. You know, it doesn't really match the aesthetic and the vibe for this place. And then, you know, I'm not going to add like a pool, a sauna, that kind of thing. So had to keep it realistic as much as I could. Put a little telly in there. This room I don't think I did anything with. Like, honestly, what do you think I should have done with this room? I do not know. Because again, like, it wouldn't have a full-on gym. But if you want to download this, if you want to make it a bit more, you know, a bit more exciting for The Sims, a bit more going on, you definitely can. So finishing up now, just doing a final little run through the different levels. I could add a bit more to this, I still might, and I'll make sure to upload it if people want, so it'll be in the description. But some videos now just showing the different spaces, some of the different angles of the block. I thought doing this was going to be really scary or weird, but it's not been too bad, to be honest. So if you're still here, thank you for listening to me witter on. I'll definitely do some more. So if you want to know about those, as I say, do give it a like and a subscribe, and I will be posting more soon. So thank you again, and I'll leave you with these final shots.